The forgotten power within you. They told you healing takes time, that you need medication, that your body is just a machine, a pile of cells and bones that obey chemistry and biology. But what if the truth runs deeper than textbooks? What if your body is not a passive container, but a field of pure, vibrating intelligence? A living symphony of energy constantly shifting, adapting, and responding to one silent, powerful force, your awareness. This isn't just a spiritual belief, it's rooted in modern physics. Beneath your skin, you are 99.999% empty space, filled with waves, frequencies, and quantum fields. Every cell, every thought, every emotion sends ripples through this space. And the best part, you're not a bystander. You're the conductor. So what happens when you learn to direct this energy? What if healing isn't something you wait for, but something you choose? Section 1. Quantum Reality and the Illusion of Matter. Let's begin where science meets mystery at the heart of quantum mechanics. This branch of physics, often described as the foundation of our modern understanding of the universe, has revealed something extraordinary. The act of observation changes reality. Yes, it's true, at the subatomic level, particles exist in a state of probability, floating in a realm of endless potential. They don't actually choose a specific state until they are observed or measured. This isn't speculation, it's scientific fact. The observer, in a very real way, affects the observed. You are not simply watching reality unfold, you are part of its creation. Now, let's apply that to something deeply personal, healing. If observation can influence the behavior of particles, then what happens when you observe your own body? What happens when you look at yourself through the lens of fear, worry, or helplessness? And what changes when you instead view your body with love, with faith, or with hope? Quantum theory suggests that your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They're energetic signals, resonating like frequencies, and those frequencies may have the power to influence your biology, your inner world, your beliefs, emotions, and mental focus may very well be shaping your outer world, down to the level of your cells. And this isn't just some abstract concept. Consider the placebo effect. People are given sugar pills, yet sometimes they heal, not because of the chemical composition of the pill, but because of the belief in the pill. They believe it's real, and so their body responds as if it were. That's not coincidence. That's consciousness interacting with biology. That's energy in motion. This phenomenon has been repeated and documented in countless medical studies. It's so reliable that new treatments must be tested against it to prove their effectiveness. And yet, we often overlook what the placebo truly reveals. That belief, expectation, and perception can cause real, measurable changes in the body. Let's take a moment here to reflect on what that means. If belief alone can trigger healing responses, then what other changes might we access when we intentionally shift our thoughts? What if our minds are not only interpreters of reality, but also creators of it? We're not talking about fantasy or magic. We're not escaping into wishful thinking. What we're exploring is a transition from the deterministic lens of Newtonian physics, where everything operates like a machine, to the open, probabilistic nature of quantum physics, where energy, consciousness, and possibility intertwine. Your body is not a lifeless mechanism made of fixed parts. It's an intelligent energy field, alive, aware, responsive. It listens to your thoughts, it feels your emotions, it reacts to your beliefs. At every moment it is updating, rewiring and rebalancing itself in response to the information it receives. And where does that information come from? From you, from your focus, from your mindset, from your inner narrative. What you think matters, literally. The language you use when talking to yourself, the images you hold in your mind, the emotions you allow yourself to feel, they all contribute to the vibrational instructions your body receives. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. You see your reflection, yes, but what if your reflection is also subtly shaped by the way you see yourself? What if your very perception is part of the programming? We're stepping into a new paradigm, one where healing is not just about medicine but about meaning, not just about treatments but about transformation. This is the power of quantum reality. It invites you to participate in your own well-being. It reminds you that you are not a passive passenger, but an active co-creator of your life experience. So, what do you choose to observe? What do you choose to believe? Because in the quantum world, those choices may be far more powerful than we've ever dared to imagine. Section 2. Emotions, energy, and the field of healing. So how do we begin to program the body, not just to function, but to heal? It begins not in the body, but in the heart, in the mind, in the emotional space that surrounds every thought and intention. Because healing at its deepest level is not merely a physical process, it is an energetic one. Emotion at its core is energy in motion. It's not just a poetic phrase, it's a truth echoed across both science and spirituality. The emotions you feel on a daily basis send ripples through your nervous system, your hormonal network, and your immune response. They influence your energy field, your personal electromagnetic signature. When you feel gratitude, joy, compassion, or love, you raise your frequency. These emotions don't just feel good, they do good. They bring your body into coherence, a state where the heart and brain are in harmonious rhythm, where healing is optimized. But when you dwell in fear, anger, stress, or resentment, something different happens. These emotions create internal dissonance. They fragment the communication between your brain and heart, reduce immune function, and increase inflammation. It's not just psychological, it's physiological. Every thought has a frequency, every feeling has a signature, and your body listens to them all. Let me share a story. I once met a woman who had lived with a chronic illness for over 10 years. Her journey had been filled with hospital visits, specialist opinions, diagnostic labs, and prescription medications, yet despite all the interventions, her symptoms persisted. Nothing seemed to work. The body didn't budge. Then one day she made a choice, not to change her medication, but to change her emotional environment. She realized that healing might not come from something external, but from something internal. From within, each morning before the noise of the world could reach her, she sat quietly, she meditated, she visualized, she imagined her cells regenerating, her organs glowing with life. She breathed deeply and bathed her mind in images of light and healing. She listened to music that moved her so deeply it brought tears to her eyes, tears not of sadness, but of release, of recognition, of joy. She chose to fill her days with gratitude, not because her life was perfect, but because her body needed a different signal. She realized that fear could no longer be her frequency. It had to be love. Within weeks, her energy began to shift. Within months, her lab results did too. Doctors were baffled, but she wasn't. She knew something had changed, something profound, not in the prescriptions, but in the programming, not in the pills, but in the purpose she began to embody. And no, it wasn't a miracle, it was alignment. You see, every cell in your body is listening, listening to the energy you emit, listening to the beliefs you hold, listening to the stories you tell yourself when no one else is around. And when your inner world begins to resonate with the blueprint of health, your body doesn't just cope, it rebuilds. Your biology is intelligent. It's not waiting for the right pill. It's waiting for the right frequency. A signal that says, I'm safe, I'm whole, I remember who I am. This is the field of healing, not a physical place, but an energetic state, a dimension you enter through breath, focus, and feeling. When you calm your nervous system and open your heart, you enter that field. When you feel love for your life, even in its imperfections, you enter that field, and in that field, miracles don't break the laws of nature, they reveal them. So the question becomes, what emotional atmosphere are you living in? Are you dwelling in frustration, fear, or limitation? Or are you cultivating a state of inner peace, gratitude, and connection? Because that choice, subtle as it may seem, could be the difference between survival and transformation. Your emotions are the language of your energy, and your energy is the blueprint for your body's healing. Section 3. The Observer Effect and Your Choice to Heal. Let's take a deeper look into one of the most astonishing truths. In quantum physics, the observer effect. It's a principle that challenges everything we thought we knew about reality. In the quantum world, particles do not exist in one fixed form. Instead, they hover in a field of endless potential, an infinite sea of possibilities. They exist not as things, but as waves of probability, that is, until they are observed. The moment you place your attention on them, they collapse into a specific outcome. Observation turns possibility into reality. Think about that for a moment. Just looking causes change. Conscious awareness becomes the catalyst for matter to organize itself into form. Now bring that understanding back to yourself. Ask yourself honestly, what version of your health, your body, your life are you observing every day? What are you focusing on when you wake up in the morning, when you look in the mirror, when you think about your future? Are you observing illness, limitation, decline? Are you seeing fatigue, symptoms, or a diagnosis? Or are you observing healing, strength, energy? Are you envisioning vitality, radiance, and light flowing through every part of you? Because what you focus on, you energize. Where your attention goes, your reality follows. In essence, your observation is not passive, it's profoundly creative. You're not just watching your body from the outside, you are influencing it from within. This is more than metaphor. It's science. Studies in neuroscience have shown that when a person imagines themselves running, lifting, or moving, the same regions in the brain activate as when they actually perform those actions. The body reacts to vivid mental rehearsal as though it were real. Your nervous system does not always distinguish between what's actually happening and what is clearly and intentionally visualized. That means something extraordinary. You can rehearse health. You can train your body to experience wellness by imagining it, feeling it, and embodying it with consistency and emotional depth. But let's be clear, this isn't about wishful thinking. This isn't a fantasy where you simply hope for something and wait. This is about engaging fully with the power of conscious observation. It's about taking the reins of your awareness and saying, I choose what to see, and what I see creates my experience. It requires presence. It requires that you become the dominant observer in your own life, the central witness, the one who chooses what reality to focus on. Otherwise, your attention becomes hijacked. Old stories, outdated diagnoses, inherited beliefs, and cultural narratives begin to dictate what you see. And when you keep observing the same patterns, you reinforce them. But when you become truly aware, when you notice where your attention goes and start to redirect it with intention, everything begins to shift. Healing begins with the decision to see differently, to see yourself not as broken, but as becoming, to see your body not as the enemy, but as the ally. To stop fixating on what's missing and to start celebrating what's possible. Each day, you get to choose where you place your gaze. Each moment, you can either reinforce the old or open the door to something new. You can let fear lead your attention, or you can invite in curiosity, love, and trust. This is what it means to reclaim your power as the observer. In the quantum field, nothing is fixed. Potential is always available. Change is always possible. And your attention, your consistent, heartfelt, intentional focus is the brush with which you paint your experience. So, what will you choose to observe today? The version of you that is tired, trapped, and limited, or the version of you that is rising, healing, and remembering their strength? The quantum field is listening. Your body is listening. The universe is responding. You are not here to wait for change. You are here to create it. Section 4. Accessing the field of possibility. Let's take a moment to imagine something extraordinary, but not imaginary. According to the quantum model of reality, every possible version of you already exists. In the vast, invisible field of potential, there is a version of you that is already whole, already healed, vibrant, alive, joyful, and free. That version of you is not a fantasy. It is a frequency. So the question isn't, does that version exist? The real question is, are you tuned into it? This is not just a nice metaphor. This is how energy works. This is how reality works when we move beyond the limits of Newtonian thinking and step into the quantum paradigm. In this view, we are not fixed beings moving through a linear world. We are dynamic, energetic fields, constantly shifting, constantly choosing, constantly creating. You don't become the healed version of yourself by chasing it. You access that version by tuning into it, and tuning in means adjusting your own energy to match the energy of the version of you that already exists in that higher state. So how do we tune into the healed self? By feeling now what you would feel then, if that version of you would feel free, peaceful, grateful, and radiant. Then don't wait. Begin feeling those emotions now, not because you're pretending, not because you're denying your current reality, but because you're aligning your frequency with the reality you want to experience. This isn't delusion, this is resonance. Let's break it down. Imagine a tuning fork. When you strike it, it creates a vibration, a tone. If there's another tuning fork nearby, one that is tuned to the same frequency, it begins to vibrate as well, even without being touched. It responds not through force, but through resonance, through shared frequency. Your body, your cells, your energetic field, they work the same way. Healing is not something you force. It's something you resonate with. When you shift your energy, your thoughts, emotions, breath, and intention, you begin to broadcast a different signal. You send a new message to your nervous system, to your immune cells, to your DNA. That signal says, I am ready. It says, I remember who I am. It says, I'm not waiting for healing. I'm becoming it. There are tools that can help support this shift. Energy medicine, frequency therapy, sound healing, and biofeedback. These are powerful technologies. They can measure and guide your energetic state. They can help you learn how to regulate your nervous system and restore coherence in your mind and body. But the most powerful tool of all is awareness. When awareness is paired with intention, and when that intention is infused with genuine, heartfelt emotion, it becomes a living broadcast, a signal that travels deep within your body and far out into the quantum field. Your awareness is your activation. Your focus is your frequency. The more clearly and consistently you choose to observe the healed version of yourself, not as a distant hope, but as a current possibility, the more you begin to merge with that version. Your brain begins to rewire, your hormones shift, your immune system recalibrates, and your energy field, the invisible architecture of your health, starts to change. You are not stuck, you are simply unaligned. The moment you realign with the truth of who you want to be, everything begins to move, not always instantly, not always dramatically, but subtly, steadily, powerfully. Alignment is not about perfection, it's about attunement. It's about choosing over and over again to return to the frequency of trust, of gratitude, of possibility. That doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing to anchor into something deeper, something more powerful than symptoms or circumstances. It means remembering that you are not just your past, not just your diagnosis, not just your story. You are a field of potential, you are energy and motion, and the field is responding to your frequency in every moment. So if you want to experience a new version of yourself, don't wait for your body to change. Change your signal, breathe deeply, feel as if it's already true, speak as if you believe it, walk as if your cells are listening, because they are. The version of you that is healed, vibrant and fully alive is not somewhere far away. It's here. It's now. It's waiting, not for time, but for tuning. You tune in by being it, not someday, today. Conclusion. You are not your diagnosis. Let me leave you with something simple but life-changing. You are not your past. You are not your diagnosis. You are not a victim of biology, fate, or circumstance. You are energy. You are frequency. You are a living, breathing field of intelligence, conscious, creative, and capable of transformation. Within you exists the power to rewrite your health story, not someday, not when the conditions are perfect, but right now. Healing does not arrive with the ticking of the clock. It doesn't wait on external permission. It begins in presence, in the moment you shift your awareness from what is broken to what is possible. When you choose to observe yourself as whole, as radiant, as fully alive, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your body listens, your cells respond, your mind softens, your heart begins to open. Every thought becomes a signal. Every emotion becomes a messenger. Every intention becomes a blueprint. So ask yourself gently but truthfully, what am I broadcasting into my body today? Am I sending out signals of fear, lack, and limitation? Or am I transmitting gratitude, trust, and vitality? Because the most powerful medicine you will ever use does not come in a bottle. It comes from your vibration, from your inner state, from the frequencies you nurture and embody day after day. Your body is not a machine to be fixed. It is a field of energy to be harmonized. Healing, then, is not about control. It's about connection. It's about realigning with the natural intelligence already within you. You don't need to fight your body. You need to listen to it. You don't need to chase healing. You need to remember that healing is your natural state. When you reconnect with the energy of who you truly are, you don't force change. You become it. You activate it. This is not wishful thinking. This is the frontier of quantum healing. It's not about escaping reality. It's about realizing that reality is not as fixed as we once believed, that biology bends to belief. That energy responds to awareness, and it all begins with you. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not defined by the labels you've been given or the stories you've been told. You are a creator of new timelines. You are a steward of your own transformation. You are the observer, the energy, and the possibility. So step into your wholeness. Breathe as if you're already healed. Feel as if you're already free. Live as if your cells are listening, because they are. The field is open. The moment is now. And healing is not just possible. It's already within you.